So today we're going to start working on getting her to move her hindquarters over. Previously we've been doing some sensitizing in the round pen, getting her to move forward, getting her to understand our body language, change direction and hooking on. From there we went to doing the desensitizing, so we worked on getting her okay with being touched all over, being patted down all over, the rope moving around her, the lunging work, a little bit of noise. So we're starting to desensitize all those senses that we don't want to be reactive. We want her to be able to respond to the things that we do want her to. So now we're going to go back to doing some sensitizing. So we're going to be moving over the hindquarters today. So I'll just get her into position and then we'll get started. So there are many different ways that you can teach this stepping over the hindquarters. Sometimes you can put them out, going around the round pen, getting them driving forward, and then step back behind them and get them to step their hindquarters over to come to a stop. So that's a really good way as well. And this way, what I'm going to be doing is using my body language. So first of all, I'm going to start off at the side. I'm going to have my left hand on the top of the rope, so then I've got control of her head in case she jumps past me. My right hand is going to have about this much of the rope sticking out the end of it, so I can use it if need be. So my first cue, I'm going to tip my head to the side. I'm going to step towards her hindquarters. I'm going to swing the rope gently. It's going to get bigger and thicker, and as soon as she moves, I'm going to lift my line of vision up to above her back, swing the rope up over her back to desensitize her again, and release. And come back to the starting position. So it's really important with this that we make sure we balance things, because quite often when we're working on the sensitizing, they can become oversensitized. So then we have to go back and balance it out by doing some desensitizing. So hence the reason why at the end of that we do some slinging the rope over to desensitize her. If you notice there, she's not too worried about that. She got a little bit upset because she didn't understand, but as soon as she did understand and moved off, I released the pressure, she came to a stop, and now she's standing here pretty relaxed. Her head's down low, she was licking and chewing, so she's not upset at all. Okay, so we're going to take position again, hold the rope. So make sure that I'm really precise with my body language. So when I don't want her to move, I'm going to have my vision up, my shoulders are back, and I'm just sort of in a neutral position. Now I'm going to tip my head to the side, take a step, the rope gently, get a bit bigger, and release. When the vision comes back out, and I can sling this over her back. And release. And come back again. So it doesn't look too pretty at the start, but as they start to understand it, if you make sure that release is correct, then they're going to pick it up pretty soon and it'll start looking a bit tidier. Some people get a bit worried when you put a bit of pressure on them, but it's no more pressure than they would experience out in the paddock. If there's the lead mare or gelding and he doesn't want the young horse in its space, then they're going to warn first by putting their ears back, they're going to give them a bit of a look, they might lift their leg up or swish their tail, and if they haven't moved, then they're going to get a pretty decent kick or a bite. So it's no different to that. With this filly, I really want to make sure she's well balanced because she is such a sensitive wee thing. Okay, so get my head, step, small, She's not quite there yet. There we go. That wasn't a big step, but it was a try, so I release for that. And we can build on it. Good. Release. And sometimes you'll find that as they're learning, they sort of swing between the two. They sort of get a little bit good at it, and then they go back to not being so good. It's just about balancing it out. So now that we've got that happening fairly well, I'm going to send her out on a circle. So once again, just as we did when they were free lunging in the round pen, we're going to bring our hand out to the side and release. Always make sure that when you ask, your hand comes back to neutral after they've gone off the course. We don't want to keep our hand out to the side because that's sort of wearing out our go aid. It'd be no different if you carried on kicking your horse all the time when you're riding it. Pretty soon they're going to become startled to their aid and they're not going to go forward off the leg. Okay, so where we're going around, I'm going to do exactly what I did just before. I'm going to step towards their hind quarters and release. So as she's going around, I just take a slight step towards her hindquarters. I sort of lower my gaze. I sort of like to aim for about the stifle with my gaze. And as she untracks and straightens up, then I lift my line of vision back up again to up above her back and make my body in neutral. So she stopped really nicely just then. She's straight on to me, she's not on the side. And the big thing is that we want to get out of this is that they get their hindquarters away from us, among many other things. So I'm going to ask her into a trot. I slightly lift my hand up as well when I ask for that, and I just find that helps with stopping them from dropping that shoulder so much. Go on the other end. Comes out the side, and she goes off. Just watch when you ask them off there that they don't come into you with their shoulder. If they do, you can use the end of your rope and get them away from you. You also want to make sure that the horse is the one doing the circling around you, not the other way around. Try and keep your feet in a fairly still spot. worried that time because we just had a bit of an argument. So I try and have my right shoulder in towards her, and it sort of just helps drive them forward. And release. And just make sure that they don't come in on top of you either. So if they do, you're going to wiggle them back and get them out of your space. Now that we've got that happening pretty well, I'm going to go to changing direction. So this is working on the hindquarters coming underneath them and untracking, and also the forequarters. So we're working on both parts of the body. I'm going to send her out to the side. Hand comes back to neutral. Untrack hindquarters and off out the other side. Neutral. Untrack hindquarters. Back out the other side. Now I might do it from a trot. Now, when they're out on the circle, you want to watch that they're not leaning on your hand. Just as when we're leading them, we don't want their attention to be off out somewhere else. So if they take out the tension in that rope, you're going to give them a bit of a bump to bring them back and focus with you.